Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2. And I probably knew it was going to come up. Somebody with a really nice laser saying that when they cut this out, this is a box from a wine box. It's really cool. And if you didn't watch part 1, I'm going to name this part 2 so you can go back to that video. Pretty cool website that sells cartons. But the gentleman is saying his is, when it cuts it out, it's too tight. And there could be two things. Every laser has a different kerf, or every 1/8 inch wood isn't equal. So I'm going to go with the interpretation that his 1/8 inch wood isn't 1/8 inch wood. Because if you see this is 0.12, we run it out a little bit, it's 11. It's actually really tight for 1/8 inch wood. So if it's tight that way, and the wood won't go in there, but the wood will, your tabs will go in there. Because if we look at the tabs on the other items that are going to fit in there, and if you see that, the tabs are, the male tabs are bigger than the female tabs because of the kerf. Because you want it tight, you don't want it really, you don't want it real tight. I mean, in the cartonist video, they actually use a little wooden hammer to tighten it down. I just use the palm of my hand because I want them tight to kind of stay together when I'm gluing it together. So, two things: if it's tight, if your wood is too thick this way, this is your thickness of the wood. This is the thickness of your cut. If this is too tight by the thickness of your wood, all you just need to do is sand it. Sand all, well, there's going to be 5 pieces after you cut it out. Just sand it with a random orbital sander, and that way you get your wood thinner and just kind of go along as you're sanding and testing. So with that said, I don't know if that's the problem, if that's the too tight part. I'm going to make a second video if it's just the kerf of the laser that's too tight. So if it's a kerf, if it's the wood thickness, because I mean, you can buy 1/8 inch plywood at Lowe's and 1/8 inch plywood at Hobby Lobby and 1/8 inch plywood at Home Depot. A lot of them don't have 1/8 inch wood, but plywood, and bring it home and get a caliper out, and they're all going to be a little bit different. It's all depends on who made it. You know, it's not a perfect science. Well, it is, but it's just lack. So there's the curve. So if it's the gentleman I'm trying to help, if it's not, or anybody, if that's not what it is, if that fits in it and you did your test cuts, I showed the other day, I would make some test cuts. And in this case, I would cut out that part, take your smart fill tool, fill that in. I would cut out these 2 pieces, and then this way you've got a good test to see if it's going to go in there, and then also you have a good test to see if they're going to go in there, snap to there. So if that's not the case by sanding, stay tuned for part 3, and we'll do this again, and you can make your joints a little less tight. Anyway, hope that helped. Thank you for watching.